The Columbus City Council meeting for June 3rd, 2024 will now come to order. In compliance with the Open Meeting Act, a copy of this act is posted in this meeting room. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Bogley,
Here.
Alarcon,
Here.
Barr,
Here.
Freshour,
Here.
Hemer,
Here.
Jablonski, Lopez, Roth,
Here.
Schilling,
Here.
Mayor Bogley, the roll has been called.
Thank you. Mr. Finance Director, Chairman of our Finance Committee.
Our Father, thank you for the opportunity to serve our fellow citizens. Please give us your wisdom and guidance to make the proper decisions entrusted to this governmental body. May our conduct show respect, honor, and courtesy to each other, as well as to all our citizens. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, stay does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. I welcome everyone to tonight's council meeting. If at any time during our meeting this evening, anyone in our audience would like to come address the council on an item on our agenda, we'd ask that you please come forward, give your name, your address, and we'd ask that you keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. We're a little short on the left side of the council this evening, so we'll still move ahead with a quorum, and we're in good shape. So with that, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Item 4, consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a City Council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from consent status and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Item 4A, minutes of the May 20th, 2024 City Council meeting. Item 4B, minutes of the May 21st, 2024 Civil Service Commission meeting, certifying Anthony Wielgus as a police officer candidate. Item 4C, Title 3B, Supportive Services, Title 3C, Nutrition, and Title 3E, Family Caregiver Support Grant Funding from the Northeast Nebraska Area Agency on Aging for the Senior Center. Item 4D, Resolution number R24-63, approving the change order number 1 with Retchins Construction Incorporated in the reduced amount of $35,772.60 for modifications, additions, and final quantities in conjunction with the Lost Creek Parkway Water Main Extension Project. That's CIP number 22-031. And item 4E, resolution number R24-64, authorizing payment of various improvement projects. And item 4F, payroll and bills on file. Mr. Mayor and council members, is there anything you'd like removed from consent status?
Mr. Mayor, I move the items on the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve as presented. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to public hearings.
Item 7A, public hearing, application from Super Buffet Nebraska Incorporated and doing business as Super Buffet for a Class A liquor license at 4306 23rd Street, and Cheo Hung as manager.
Is there anyone here this evening to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing? You're welcome to come forward if you want. Does the council have any questions or concerns? If not, you're not necessary.
I'd like to meet the individual.
All right,
Have her
ma'am.
come forward
Would
and
you please,
indicate who she is. And
then would you please come forward, ma'am? Good evening. Would you give your name, for our record, would you just please give your name and address?
My name is Chao, C-H-A-O, last name Huang, H-U-A-N-G. The business address is 4306 23rd Street, Columbus, Nebraska, 68601.
Thank you. Questions for,
no questions, just thank you very much for
right.
being here and introducing yourself. Thank
And
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
entertain a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7B, this is not a public hearing. Application from Convergence LLC for preliminary plat of Wishbone's first subdivision. This
What?
is-
We need to make a
There's
motion.
I'm
item
sorry.
2.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I rushed.
Yes,
Somebody needs to.
somebody
make the
needs to
motion.
make the motion for the liquor license.
I didn't know if she had to read it first or not, but I can then. Mr. Mayor, move the recommendation be made to the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission be approved, to approve the application from Super Buffet for Class A liquor license at 4306 23rd Street and Chow Hung as manager.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve and send this recommendation to the Nebraska Liquor Commission. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7B, not a public hearing. This is an application from Convergence LLC for preliminary plat of Wishbone's first subdivision, east side of 63rd Avenue, north of Howard Boulevard. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the preliminary plat be approved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the preliminary plat. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7C, public hearing, application from Convergence LLC for final plat and development agreement of Wishbone's first subdivision, east side of 63rd Avenue, north of Howard Boulevard. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is a public hearing, so anyone in the audience to speak against this public hearing? Anyone to speak for this public hearing? I would entertain a motion then
Moving
to,
that the public hearing be closed?
Second.
we have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion carries.
Item 7C1, resolution number R24-65, approving the final plat and development agreement.
Mr. Mayor, move that resolution number R24-65 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R24-65. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to reports of city offices.
Item 9A, update on the Nebraska Department of Transportation 23rd Street Reconstruction Project. Our city engineer, Rick Bogus, will give an update.
So the NDOT and Paulson's Construction, as you can see, have been working out there whenever they can. There's been obviously a lot of rain in May, so that has set them back a little bit. But they've been doing what they can on segment one, and that was that last year's work. They're just doing some seeding and sodding when they're able to. The other thing you'll see later on in the year will be some tree planting and stuff in that first segment. So this year they're on that segment two, the current place that they're working in, and they are constructing the storm sewer on the westbound lanes. That's the north side, if you will, the westbound lanes, and they're west of 23rd Avenue. They're approaching 26th Avenue, so that's where they're currently at today. They will in the next week or two. They plan to go through 26th Avenue. So if you recall, on 23rd Avenue, there was a day or two it was closed in there to get through. They're going to do that here shortly, another week or two. They'll announce that when that is exactly. But 23rd and 26th will never be closed at the same time, so 23rd will be open. The big change is due to the Nebraska Department of Transportation revising how they need to pour that north lane over the storm sewer. It's a longer period. In addition to at 18th Avenue, there's a lot of utilities that were in conflict, and they've worked through that. That's why that has been closed longer. And then with the rains, the contractor is indicating that he would not be able to complete the segment two as they originally proposed at the beginning of the year. And so they have requested, and NDOT has granted a change in the phasing, how that would work. So as I indicated, they're working on that north far lane, that westbound lane. They're going to continue working on that to the west end of the project, which would be about 31st Avenue. So that would be into that segment three on that side. And then they will come back after that, and they'll get from about 16th Avenue to west of 18th Avenue on the eastbound lane. So at the end of this year, the northbound lanes, the westbound north side lanes will be completed, and then just a little segment past 18th Avenue, so that we can get done. We won't have to worry about closing that next year. So those are the big changes. They have meetings set up tomorrow with the property owners and the businesses in that segment three to explain that, because that is a change from the beginning. But that was really the only way that would allow the contractor to keep moving. And then, nobody wanted it this winter during shutdown to be 2 lanes. So that was a way to get all 4 lanes open. So I just wanted to explain that to you today.
Awesome. Appreciate it. One other a question. I know the answer, but I've been asked by multiple people. We have seen sod being laid on last year's section. So, I mean, that was a completion of what was required, but yet in a couple of areas, the grass that was there was looking pretty good. But that was just a cover that was thrown in as a prerequisite to what had to be there for the winter and into spring, correct?
Correct. They have a requirement with their stormwater pollution program to put temporary seeding down, and that's actually what that was. Yep. It was that it took off really well, and that's good, because that's what you want to do, is not have that erosion. But you're right, they had to put the sod in these locations as a requirement of the contract.
Again, a question I knew the answer to, but I think a lot of people in the public, they say, well, there's nothing wrong with that grass. That's not what was put there to be permanent.
Correct.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Mr. Bogus? No? Well, we thank you very much for that update, Rick. Appreciate it. Moves us up to, where are we? New business.
Item 13A, application from Murphy Oil USA Incorporated, doing business as Murphy USA 7485 for Becky J. Kellogg as manager in conjunction with the liquor license at 2477 East 6th Avenue.
Mr. Mayor, I move the application from Murphy's USA 7485 for Becky J. Kellogg as manager in conjunction with the liquor license be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this application. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13B, application from Me6 Brothers LLC doing business as Me6 Bar for addition to their liquor license at 2506 12th Street to include the 85 by 86-foot outdoor area.
Mr. Mayor, move the application for Me6 Bar for addition to liquor license to include 85-foot by 86-foot outdoor area be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this addition. Any discussion? Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. John, we appreciate you being here. It went well. I think the questions were answered in the material that we were given in preparation for our meeting. We move on to
Item 13C, request to purchase from Philips Healthcare in the amount of $34,800.08 for cardiac monitor and accessories for the fire department. This is CIP number 24-8.
Mr. Mayor, move the request to purchase from Philips Healthcare in the amount of $34,800.08 for cardiac monitor and accessories be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the purchase of Philips Healthcare for fire department. Any discussion? Any questions?
Not in our budget?
It is,
Yeah.
yeah, it is part of CIP 24-8.
Public know that it was in the budget.
Yeah, yep. Any other questions other than that?
No.
All right. Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13D, quote from Mallory Safety and Supply in the amount of $11,967.23 for gas monitors, sensors, and calibration gases for the fire department.
Mr. Mayor, I move the quote from Mallory Safety and Supply in the amount of $11,967.23 for gas monitor, sensors, and calibration gases be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the purchase from Mallory Safety and Supply. Do we have any questions? Yes, Councilman.
And I'm sure the Assistant Chief knows, but this is a different way of purchasing than we usually do. Usually it's in the budget, and where this isn't in the budget, but it's reimbursable.
Correct, so every year the state gets so much money from FEMA,
Right.
it goes out to all the hazmat teams, so we purchase the products and they reimburse us for the full amount, once we receive the products.
Give me a time or basically a timeline if you can. I know we have to send them the packing slip, so that means we got the items in our hand.
Correct, and it's usually 4 to 6 weeks after the fact
Okay.
we get reimbursed for
Okay.
it.
Just a little different, and I was asked, well, why are we doing it that way? So I said, that's the way it has to be. Thank you.
All right, any other questions or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13E, comments from the mayor and city council members in compliance with the Open Meetings Act. No discussion may be held on this item.
Do we have any comments from council members this evening?
Yeah, I have one.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I just wanted to inform the public that I have declined to run again in the fall for this position. I've enjoyed the opportunity to do this, but for personal reasons will not be continuing it. So I'll finish my term out and go from there. So thank you.
Well, Hope, we've enjoyed having you as part of the council.
Thanks.
Sorry to hear that.
Absolutely. Sorry to hear that. Yes, Councilman Barr.
I'll remind everybody that I challenged you all to come down to Paws and Claws on the 5th and participate a little bit in whatever they've got going, and I will make a contribution in your name, whether it's a pie in the face or a tortilla slap or whatever kind of concoction he can come up with. So I challenge all of you. Chief, that's you. Assistant Chief, that's you.
I don't
See
know.
there?
He always laughs when he smiles and laughs when he talks about these tortilla slabs.
Yeah, well,
I'll tell you.
I didn't ask you to participate in that one.
Did I understand, Councilman, that you were going to match my contribution?
I will not match your contribution. I will make a contribution in your name, if you come down and take a pie.
I was looking for a matching contribution. is what
I
was
think your
looking for.
pockets are deeper than mine.
I don't think that's necessarily the case.
All right, I have no comments this evening. We'll move on then to resolutions.
Item 14A, resolution number R24-66, approving the design-build agreement with Nemaha Sports Construction LLC in the amount of $31,780 for design phase services for Pawnee Park Baseball Field turf conversion. This is CIP number 23-1016.
Mr. Mayor, I motion, it's not on. Mr. Mayor, I motion that resolution number R24-66 be adopted.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R2-66. Any discussion? Good to see this moving forward. With that, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 14B, resolution number R24-67, approving the design-build agreement with BD Construction Incorporated in the amount of $9,000 for design phase services for Vanberg Golf Course Pro Shop renovations. This is CIP number 23-017.
Mr. Mayor, motion to, for resolution number R2467 be adopted.
Second,
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R24-67. Do we have any discussion? Any questions? Yes, sir.
Rick, I just wondered, what about the information that we got from BD in May? What they came down and did a bunch of work. Is this part of that, or is this beyond what they're doing?
No, that's part of, they came down, they just discussed the project with us at that point, so this is the formality of getting the contract with them and building it.
Okay,
You good?
I'm good.
Okay. Any other comments or discussions? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 14C, resolution number R24-68, authorizing conveyance of Vitality Village property to the Community Development Agency in accordance with the redevelopment plan for the 8th Street Residential Subdivision Redevelopment Project.
Mr. Mayor, I move resolution number R24-68 be adopted.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R24-68. Any discussion?
for benefit of the public, could we explain what's going on here? Why is this necessary? What's happening?
Sure. First of all, the Community Development Agency the council is the Community Development Agency, but the Community Development Agency by state law, either a CDA or a CRA, Community Redevelopment Agency, is required for all tax increment financing and redevelopment projects by state law. So because we're using tax increment financing on Vitality Village and it's a city-led project, there are some benefits to holding the land, for the CDA to hold the land rather than the city, especially when it comes time to transfer the land to its permanent owners. So it's really a housekeeping item to hopefully just make the redevelopment process go more smoothly. It's really just a bookkeeping. There's no money changing hands or anything like that.
And we are convening the Community Development Agency as soon as this meeting's over with, correct?
Right.
To address this item?
No.
No? Not for a different item?
That's a different
Okay.
project.
All right.
But yes, the council is
Gotcha.
the CDA.
Yes.
So the Community Development Agency will have to convey the,
Property to
Evidently-
its owners.
to the owner,
To
to
the
the
final
ultimate
owners.
owners eventually.
Correct.
Okay.
You comfortable? Is that good?
And we did, just related to this, we did close
Close.
on the land on Friday.
Friday.
So that's why we're able to do this now.
Any other comments or questions? All right. Seeing none, we have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution R24-68. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. motion passes. The council meeting is adjourned. I remind everyone that within about 2 or 3 minutes, we will convene the